Ciao, friends of JB World. I hope you are doing well. Look at that. Paolo, he knew that we were live. He said, I will put my sunglasses on. I'm super, super happy again to be here. Like every week now, we change. One time it's on Tuesday, then it's on Wednesday. Why? Because we don't want to be the day of Juventus because we have too much emotion. We need to let that sink, and then we need to rewatch the game and go live. Super happy to have Paolo here, Christine, and Adam that is back. Ciao, Adam. How are you doing?
Ciao, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good, because we had a great game versus Torino in the last minute, or actually a few minutes of the game were really good, full of emotion. I didn't remember celebrating that much, and then the beautiful game versus Barcelona, amazing. Before saying hello to the other ones, Colin is there. Ciao, Colin. Akisdro, Maurix, 94 already playing with the emo of Christine or with the emo of the pizza. I still don't know. But who do we have? We have a lot of people today. Ash913, Inter out for sure. If we do JB World, it's because we need to wait for Inter out. Ninip is there. We have a lot of people. Melio and Christine. How are you, Christine?
I'm wonderful. Yesterday was great. I've just been gloating for the last, I don't know, 16 hours or so. Yeah, no, things are good today. Things are good.
We have already Juve FC 1897 that is already giving the rankings. We will go through them. Thank you, Juve FC. He's living in India. He's never sleeping. Juve FC is never sleeping. So I'm super happy that you joined Twitch today as well. Ciao, Paolo.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Giuseppe.
Look at the score, 3-0 or 0-3 actually, because that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I get confused, 45 years old, so sometimes I don't remember the score. So I put this so I can remind the yesterday game score, so just for everybody. And the good news today, the real Nerazzurri went through and won the game, so went through the group. So congratulations to real Nerazzurri di Bergamo. See ya.
Question before go, because we have a beautiful agenda. We have the Champions League result. We will go through really fast. We will laugh a bit about Inter. Unfortunately, they were last because I wanted them to be third, but they are last. Whatever, they will collapse because they will have no money anymore. But that's another thing. We will go through the group stages to see who can be our opponents. We will go through the Torino game really fast, and especially the last minutes of that game. The Barcelona game, we will do the ratings. But this time, I want the people in the chat to do the rating. I want you guys to give us the rating. What did you think about Buffon, about McKennie? And I will try to not nominate too much McKennie because Christine said that she will speak 45 minutes about McKennie today. So I will try to avoid it as long as possible. McKennie, Buffon, Cristiano Ronaldo, a lot of great players, and especially one man we have to talk about today. It's Pirlo. Pirlo, because I have a shocking image to show you. Not only that, because we will speak about Pogba, probably contract extension to Ronaldo, yes or no, but we have a surprise for people that are in the chat and that are already subscribed to the channel, to Juventibus. Guys, I don't know you, but on Juventibus most of the time, because it's really late, I'm super calm. Today, I'm super excited because this is the Juve effect. For someone in the chat today, if they want to, they have to be subscribed. You can join us. You can join Paolo with the beautiful sunglasses, Adam and Christine. You will not be able only to push on the emo of Christine, but you can say hello to Christine live. That will be beautiful, and you can talk about the game. I'm sure you can't wait to see me. So let's start today. Guys, Champions League, the results. We have 1-0 of Atalanta. They were qualified with a draw, but they were even able to win in the last minutes. There were some rumors that something is going wrong in the locker rooms of Atalanta with Gasperini. At the moment, nothing is confirmed. Let's see what happened there, because I believe they really need Gasperini because he did a fantastic job. But they go through. So we have three teams of Italian teams that go through. We have Juventus as first of the group. We have Lazio yesterday, historic moment for them. And then we have Atalanta today. Who's missing? The guys that were not able to win.
Nobody's missing. That's it.
No, nobody.
That's it.
Nobody. Yeah.
All three Italian teams are through.
Yep.
I agree. So we have one that will not play Europe anymore, and it's Inter. Even if we are mocking and laughing, I always told, I'm happy. But I always told, unfortunately, Conte is a really great coach, one game a week. He will have all the time in the world, and it will be even more beautiful to win versus
but
them.
He won't because there's 2 games every week still.
That's also true.
We're still playing 2 games a week. So he's still got the same problem.
So I'm reassured, Adam. I'm really happy that you are there because you give me a bigger smile than I already had today. About the Champions League, Adam gave his opinion. He's really happy. Every time that we have actually Adam, they are not playing well. But say hello to Lord. Ciao, Christine, Adam, Beppe, and Mr. Liverani. That's you. Then we have M. Lorusso 75 or 75. We have Sergio, Juice, Jom. We have a lot of people. Christine, what about the game of yesterday? Just the feeling, not going into detail. How does it feel, that big win?
I feel like it's huge for morale. I think that I'm a little bit more measured in how I feel overall, because you have to remember that for as well as we corrected, which I'm very, very proud of us. I am not mad at anybody. Everybody kind of stood out yesterday. We were playing a highly wounded Barcelona side, the Barcelona I expected to see in October that we got clobbered by. So I'm optimistic. I just think that with Barca and Juve, it's kind of a tale of 2 cities where we're sort of bizarro each other in a way. But I'm feeling good about it. I am.
Yesterday, during the game or after the game, I want to show it again. Did you have the same smile as Andrea Pirlo?
How could you not? Honestly, there were a lot of things that could have made you smile yesterday. The interaction between Messi and Gigi, just seeing Gigi between the sticks, and it's probably the one time we benefited from having an empty stadium, because quite frankly, I love hearing him out the back yelling at that defensive line. It's very just reminiscent of like OG days when you felt like, yeah, we're super solid. And quite frankly, our defense did play great. So I think that the vibes overall, and I'm trying not to say Weston McKennie's goal, but if you were not smiling after that, there is something wrong with you. You're dead inside.
I agree. It was long time ago. I believe that not only the team needed this, but also the supporters. We really needed it, a performance like this. We will go into detail. We'll speak about the players. We will see if we will be able to continue that way, because for sure Torino gave us an amazing boost, and I believe that this image, guys, this image was a turning point, like we had like 4 years ago when we played the season 2015-16. At a certain moment, with a last-minute goal of Cuadrado, we made a click. The difference, it's the same. The only difference, I don't know if you agree with me or not, Paolo and Adam, but the difference is that at the time we already had Allegri that trained Juve for already 1 year, and Allegri had a bit more baggage experience than Pirlo, where now we have a new coach. So that's the big difference. But the same game could have given us a big boost. Paolo, honestly, before playing Barcelona, after the confidence boost of the goal of Bonucci at the 89th minute, did you feel the same? Were you confident for the game versus Barcelona?
No, to be honest, no. I mean, even if for me this season so far is so difficult to predict how Juventus could do, sometimes you expect could be great. Sometimes you expect could actually, Cuadrado, number 1, could be horrible, as was the first half with Torino or other games this season, you know. So it's really difficult right now to predict how Juventus will be, just because we don't see consistency in performance of the team. So you can expect everything from them. because of that, and considering the first leg, meaning when we lost 2-0 in Turin, I was expecting maybe some good game, not to win 3-0, but some decent performance, because at least this kind of games, you expect a team able to do something, to be, prepared, to be awake, to do good pace and do good things. At least that. Then it's all about the quality of the team itself, which I believe we have a good team too, good players. So this, was unexpected somehow.
Were you confident, Christine, before the game?
I think that I was less confident than I was prior to our last match, only because we already lived through that. Granted, we had to also deal with Ronaldo being out and COVID and a whole bunch of other factors. So I think that this time things kind of flipped in our behalf. But I think I'm not gonna lie, I had butterflies going into this match. I appreciated what we did in the derby, but I wasn't sure. And I know that a lot of what we're doing, and to what Adam said, we're not consistent, but we've been correcting. And so until we hit that sweet spot where we find that those corrections are adequate, I think that I'm still going to feel a little bit that way. I think that tactically, Barcelona, especially under Koeman, he's very rigid. And so he's also so stubborn. So we already knew what he was going to go with. He was going to show up with a 4-2-3-1. And so Pirlo already knew how to sort of strategize around that, right? Like, so I feel like that kind of took one of the big puzzle pieces out of it for us. So we anticipated what we were going into correctly. And also this time we have a bunch of healthy bodies that are ready to go. Granted, sure, you're going to say like Ronaldo, the 2 pens, and those were his contribution. But I would argue that that wasn't even the best contribution for the whole match. It was actually drawing the 2 defenders so Weston could do what he did.
Absolutely, yes.
Everybody was doing what they should have been doing. And I know that last week we were on a Ramsey bashing spree. And I also want to just say, haha, are you kidding? Like, I think that man legitimately just had his best match with Juve yesterday. And that trumps the one against Inter. So I think that those are the things that I'm really happy about. Cuadrado, loved him more yesterday too. I think that we used everything to our possible advantage. Like, think about it. Barcelona kind of was in the same weird dump that we were in. Like, they just lost to Cadiz the other day. So their morale is already in the toilet. Ousmane Dembele is out. Ansu Fati is out. Piqué out long term. So we had everything. The stars aligned for us. And we also played well.
I may be alone, but I was really confident before the game. I was super confident, and I said it also a lot of time live. Cuadrado, 8 assists, guys, 8 assists, and he's doing mistakes. It's true, he's doing mistakes, but the number of beautiful things that he's doing per game after game, is amazing. But I agree.
5 Champions League assists in 5 matches.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He for me the whole team performed well. But you know why I was confident, because we had nothing to lose. We had really nothing to lose. Mentally, we had no stress. We go for it. We win. We don't win. At least we tried. We could use something, and that's why I was super confident, because we didn't have that we have to win, we have to show. We could only focus on performance and what we wanted to do. When I saw the lineup with how Pirlo also played De Ligt immediately, it was showing some signals from, I want to go with my strongest team and I want to go for it. And that was a really big boost for me, especially having Ronaldo that wanted to make the difference in that maybe last game versus Messi. Paolo.
Yeah, I'm curious because it's a question I had yesterday in chat with Juventus guys, and also in my head. And everybody can answer to my question. Who was expecting Buffon be the goalie yesterday?
I was.
I
No,
absolutely was totally surprised about.
I was too. I was really surprised. I thought maybe Genoa, maybe Fiorentina, whatever, but not with Barca. I thought it would be Chesney for sure.
you know
So
why I was super confident about him, Paolo? Because I said it a few games ago. I hope that we are already qualified when we play versus Barca, because I would love to see Buffon playing at least one game. I don't know if we will win the Champions League or not, but if we win the Champions League, with Buffon never being able to play a single minute, he would not have felt that cup his. Now he played a game and he didn't play versus Ferencváros. He played versus Barcelona. To show you, I already prepared it, but normally it was later when we had to talk about Buffon, but you already anticipated. He was there
sorry.
17 years ago in 2003. He was already there yesterday. I think it's really a sign of respect of Pirlo about the men, and also confidence, because Buffon, okay, he maybe doesn't have the same reflex, but the guy is still there. He's still a second valid goalkeeper.
No, but I mean, my question wasn't about if it was a good option, is Buffon doing performing well or not. It's not that the question. I I was surprised when I saw him as potential goalie. So we're talking about a couple of days before the game. There was already some rumors about, because Chesney was doing just great. Buffon didn't play that much this season yet, and and this was quite important game. I mean, so it was. I don't know if this was more like, kind of crazy idea of Pirlo saying, I'm gonna give him some chances. So this is an important game. If it's so important, Buffon need to feel it's important for the team to well perform too. And maybe this helps to better perform in defense too, which definitely is exactly what happened. So I was just curious your feeling.
Can I jump in, Paolo? Because Tariq is saying it would be really beautiful and amazing and legendary if Buffon could play the last UCL game. I don't know if he's saying it was the last versus Barcelona, or maybe going into the final and playing that last game. I will maybe change a bit the question of Tariq, but Christine, Adam, would you play Buffon if we are in final?
No. As difficult as it is to admit as Juve fans, Chesney is better than him today. He just is. Buffon's great. He's a legend, all of that. But Chesney is better than him. He just is.
Christine is thinking.
Yeah, I think that for me, it's obviously an emotional thing too. But I think with Chesney, obviously, I have to go with him if we're playing a significant match. But I think that the actual important part of GG now is just his presence, right? So I think that him being on field, you just get a different. He's so much more of a leader than Chesney is. And that's not going to change, right? That's a personality thing. They're both seasoned professionals. It's the difference between sort of like mom and dad, right? It's just a different feel. And I think that that's something that I miss. And I think that people respond to GG differently. Not that should really be the case, but I just think it's just a different presence on field. So that part I miss. And I wish that he's still, I mean, he's going to be 42, or he is 42.
He is already.
I don't begrudge him that. I would love to see that man on field, even if they sub him out and change goalies if we manage to get that far. But trust me, he deserves it. But I think that as far as technical ability, we have to go with Chesney. He's our keeper.
I agree. What do the chat think? Chesney in the goal if we go in a really important Champions League game, or we celebrate Buffon, the romantic side or the professional pragmatic side? Let me know in the comments. I would be really curious about what people think, even if I think for me it should be an obvious one. Sergio, is saying, do not forget GG's 43. My friend Juve FC is saying that it's breaking. Monday, there will already be the draws at 12. So that will be really quick because we are only Wednesday. If we want to go through, we have 8 teams we can play. No, not even. We have 8 minus 3, 5 teams we can play against in Champions League. It's Leipzig from Germany, Sevilla, the Europa League winners. No, Atalanta is not possible. So Atletico Madrid again, Porto, or Borussia Mönchengladbach. Look at the pronunciation in German. I'm super proud. Not a lot of people can say it. Buffoni says a German team. So that's the difference with me. I try at least. So Porto, Borussia, Atletico Madrid, Leipzig, of Sevilla. It's okay. Yeah. We lost versus Ajax and Lyon. I know. But who want to pick one?
If you want to win the Champions League, you can't be scared of any of those teams. No,
I agree.
Just go win. If you're seriously going to win the competition, none of those teams can be difficult. There's not, okay, Atletico Madrid are good, but they're top of La Liga. Maybe they concentrate on the league a little bit more. They're a really good team, obviously, but they're not Bayern Munich. They're not Manchester City. They're not PSG. They're not Liverpool. Just go win. Like those teams are nothing to be scared of. Like the way Juve played yesterday, they'll beat all those teams. They just need to play the way they played yesterday.
Do you believe, Adam, that we are able to do it with a big pressure? Because yesterday, again, it's a Camp Nou without any supporter. By the way, Cristiano Ronaldo, I have a picture of it. He posted something on Twitter speaking about the fact that we have no supporters. Do you think that Juve is able to do it, or it's too soon to say?
I think the one thing that I keep saying when I'm coming on the show, but with Pirlo, everything is new and it's different. The pressure is gone from Juve because Pirlo is there. It's not still Allegri. It's not Sarri. It's a completely inexperienced coach. If Juve play Bayern Munich will be expected to win. If they play any of the other big teams I mentioned, Juve won't be expected to go through. They're the underdogs again because they have Pirlo. But because they have Pirlo, they're playing this more carefree style. They're trying to score more goals. They're playing more attacking. And that takes all the pressure away from Juve and puts it all on the opponent. And I think that has to be in Juve's favour because in the past it's always, will they ever win? Can this team win? They've got Allegri, Conte, Sarri, whoever. Now that's all gone and it's all fresh and it's all new. And with things like that, crazy things can happen, right? And that's what we're hoping for, is that Pirlo can just figure it out in his first season before that pressure starts to build and build and build. This season, it's yesterday against Barcelona is a really great example of what the whole season is like. Yesterday, already through, no fans, no pressure. It's the same with Pirlo. It's just the same. The pressure's taken away for at least for this one season. There's like people. Will Juve even win the league? There is Inter, there is Pirlo, there's Milan with Zlatan. It's completely unknown. So we have a chance to take teams by surprise again for 1 year. So why not?
Crazy question. I was not planned, and today we are going all places. But you think that this Juventus has maybe, it's a crazy question, more chances in Champions League where we have so many spaces because you see 2 teams that are attacking, and it's you go in or you're out. It's 2 games from now on, knockout stages. Or you say, okay, we are still, maybe the team of Pirlo is still more favorite in Serie A where you have a lot of games to play. I would not have asked that question with Sarri, absolutely not with Allegri, and for sure not with Conte. We saw the result today. But can this be a change of mentality? More chances in Champions League than in Serie A?
Who is going to answer?
For me, it's the same thing. Maybe we don't know. We don't know. Maybe Pirlo's a great manager in the league. Maybe he's great in Europe. He was a player for a long time with Carlo Ancelotti, who's terrible in the league but great in Champions League. So maybe, but I don't know. I think it's still too early to kind of guess anything about what Pirlo is. And And it's still too early because for now, the real challenger in Serie A is Milan. And it's still too early to know if 39-year-old Zlatan can carry on doing what he's doing every week for 38 weeks. So it's really hard to say for me.
We will go through the extension of contract of Cristiano Ronaldo, if it makes sense or not. We will speak about that later. I repeat for the people in the chat. At a certain moment, you guys, you will do the ratings. You will be able to speak about the players. We will go really fast through it, but I want to know about you, what you think. And also, one of you, you will be able to join us to comment as well the ratings. Before that, I will have something really nice that I bought on Amazon. I wanted to show it because it's the book of Massimo Zampini. Massimo Zampini is doing Casa Juventibus. He's one of the big leaders of the Italian Juventibus, and also this because we are part of it. This is 3.000 giorni con la Juve campione d'Italia. 3,000 days with Juventus, champion of Italy. I bought it. I'm already regretting it because that book is, I never read a book that big. But it's normal because the history of Juventus, the 3,000 days, we have a lot of things to write. So for people that are able to understand Italian, I recommend it. I already read this, and that's it, just this, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. No, seriously. Apart the book of Massimo Zampini that is now on my bookshelf, super happy. I want to go through to some things. Pirlo, because that's an important one. Yesterday, I saw a really intelligent and smart Pirlo. He did something, I don't know, you guys, if you noticed or not. Maybe I'm the only one that wait, because I have to answer Sergio. I'm marketing Zampini, but it's normal because I'm also aziendalista. I'm corporate. You know, I'm from the team of Juventibus. I go all in. I promote the book. I paid the book, guys, with my own money. I didn't receive it. It's not even signed by Massimo. But Pirlo did something really, really great yesterday. I don't know if you're able to see the board because I prepared it the last time. So you have a McKennie here and a Ramsey. When Ramsey, in offensive style, he goes behind the striker, behind the 9 and the 7, he had a lot of difficulties to go back on that left position to give defensive support, and he was totally lost. And we spoke about it the last time where Ramsey did two really bad games. Kulusevski did a really bad game, but also McKennie, he did a really bad game when he was playing that position. Yesterday, for me, there were two things that changed the game, and I really want to hear your opinion. It's the fact that when Ramsey was giving defensive support, the first one to give support behind the strikers was McKennie, because McKennie had shorter distance to do than Ramsey going up and down. And then when we were pressing offensively, then they changed again the position where Ramsey was a bit more offensive than McKennie. That's for me one key of the game that Pirlo was able to solve. And then this man, the number 16, because he had no defensive task yesterday. With these two small changes, I believe Pirlo won the game, and we saw a total different Juventus. What's your opinion about my analysis of that one?
Well, let's start saying that yesterday all the team played well, so they were helping each other, which is the main thing. When you do this kind of let's move in the midfield, let's cover when a teammate is going forward, so in case we lost the ball, there is always someone to help each other. This was the spirit yesterday. This is why we well performed. Okay, so this is why sometimes I say the number 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 2. These are just numbers at the end. This is the behavior of the players that makes totally the difference in the pitch. Okay.
You sound just like Allegri.
Sorry?
You sound just like
Exactly.
Allegri. Yeah, I interviewed Allegri and I asked him about formation, and he said it's just numbers on the page. It's the players, and you just said exactly the same thing.
But it is like that.
It is.
It's. I mean, sometimes, and this is, I think, a lot of journalists does it. We have to imagine players able to move free in the pitch. They can go left to right to left, front to the back. and help each other. This is the most important thing. Of course, then there are tactics. There are some players that must be do some specific rules to, especially when you are defending, you are attacking, you're trying to get the best out of it, but we should not be too much focused on numbers. I do believe that. I really do believe that. Okay, we have to have just the right players able to build a good chemistry. Okay, a good chemistry each other, and this is why. Let me say something, because when we were talking about what will be the best team to face now in the next step of Champions League, this is probably, it's important to don't face someone very difficult, because we are still growing. So we need to keep and build our confidence. So just not in the league, but also in Champions League. So right now, since we are young, we need to do things step by step. So if we face Porto instead of Atletico de Madrid, for example, will be better, because we will have more chance. We can do better. We can keep in confidence. And we go next step, maybe have something a little bit harder, but we feel better as a team, and we can perform better. So this is the main thing, in my opinion.
Another question, because we saw some people that were saying, yes, okay, Juventus won 3-0, but it's because of Barcelona not being really, really, really good. They were bad. It was not a great Barcelona. You see Pjanic that is thinking, why did I leave Torino? And then Messi that say, why didn't I leave Barcelona? They were really not happy, not in the mood. What's your opinion, guys, on that one? Was it really Barcelona that was that bad, or if you take a balance, Christine?
I think it's both. I think that Juve had an exemplary match and Barcelona had the exact opposite. They weren't themselves, right? Like, I mean, we were also doing a lot of things that we haven't been doing as of late, like hard pressing. Like they couldn't really play out of their own half. So we were good. I don't think I get to say that very often lately, especially, right? But I don't think that really diminishes how well we were playing. I think that it's true that we can't argue that Barcelona was at full strength, but it's very much similar to when we are extremely reliant on Ronaldo. They are right now singularly reliant on Messi. The man had 11 shots, 7 on target, and that was basically it, with the exception of Griezmann, who had a header that hit the crossbar. Like they didn't have anything. Possession was mostly ours. They weren't doing much. And even with Ramsey playing as well as he did, and you noting, like, he was getting back to defend. He had a couple of 2-on-1s back there, but he was going so high up that if it had been a different team, I think we would have been more at risk, because he was leaving Serginho Dest wide open to counter, should that have happened. We weren't going to be able to fix that. So if it had been a different team and different player, like, I probably would have been a little bit worried. But if we continue to capitalize on what we did here, I think we could be amazing, and I can probably smile through the rest of this, but I don't think that I'm ready to be so optimistic that I'm not worried.
I think you're absolutely right, Christine. I think that it's 50-50. Barca weren't great, but Juve really were. And it's the same Barcelona team that beat Juve 2-0 a month ago. So they're not terrible. They're a good team. They're capable of beating Juve when they play at their best. But the big thing for me yesterday is Juve didn't let them play at their best. A lot of their problems yesterday came from the things that Juve did right. And I think to wrap up all those comments that everyone's made about the difference yesterday, we can talk about Pirlo changed this little tactic. We can talk about Barcelona didn't play as well. For me, the difference was everybody on the field for Juve did their job. And I said it just before we came on air. Everyone did their job. You look at the way they pressed for the first time. The reason it looks like they pressed for the first time is because for the first time, everybody who was on the field pressed when they were supposed to press, where they were supposed to press. When Juve lost the ball, you have Morata, Ronaldo, McKennie, Ramsey, Artur, and Cuadrado in the right place to make that press effective. That's not Pirlo suddenly being a good coach. That's having 8 players who have listened to what he's asked them to do and going out on the pitch and doing it. And you notice the difference immediately with a Dybala or a Chiesa. They're not in the right place, and then the whole thing breaks down. And it's not just to rag on those 2 guys, but when you watch them, just watch them for 5 minutes. Every single time they're in the wrong place. And then if you're trying to press the opposition in a corner or against their own box, if one person isn't there, then there's a gap and they can play out. And then all of a sudden you're exposed at the back. And what happened yesterday was simply, to me, was 10 outfield players for Juve all doing their job. There's no Dybala wandering off into midfield when he should play in attack. There's no Chiesa losing the ball and standing there and throwing his arms up, complaining instead of tracking back to win it back. There's no Demiral going a little bit too over-aggressive and getting out of position because he's trying too hard. Everybody just did their job, and it just shows how simple football can be when you do what you're supposed to do. And you just look at that and you just hope that players who were missing, like a Demiral, like Dybala, like Chiesa, can look at that and can learn the lesson of how you can help the team, not by going back to where the right back should be and trying to beat 8 players or make a stupid pass, but just do we have what you're supposed to do.
But what do we do with these players? Do we have space for a Kulusevski, for a Dybala, for a Chiesa in the way that we played? I still believe, I was against Chiesa, but I still believe that it makes sense to have him.
Well, you look at their characteristics, those players, okay, and against not against Barcelona, but against a lesser opponent. So not one of the best teams in Europe, but against any team in Serie A. There is absolutely no reason why Kulusevski can't come into that lineup for Ramsey or McKennie and do the same job. There's no reason why you can't put Cuadrado on the bench, play Chiesa in that exact same position. And if he did what he was told, he can do what Cuadrado does. It's not it's not like Cuadrado is Lewandowski or Kevin De Bruyne. It's Juan Cuadrado. We know who he is. We know what he can do. Chiesa can do that if he wants to, if he chooses to. And then you look to Dybala. Dybala can do what Alvaro Morata did yesterday. He can play that position next to Ronaldo in attack, lead the attack, play as the number 9. We know he can. We've seen him do it. That's what makes me so frustrated when he doesn't. Those guys can all come in and take those roles. I think there's another problem of them all playing together. I think if you have Chiesa, Kulusevski, Dybala, I think they all kind of want to go into the same spaces. And that's where you get a problem. But you can definitely split them up and bring them in 1s and 2s. And you see the team yesterday without Rabiot, who can come straight in for any of those guys in midfield, make the team better. You can bring Chiellini in for any of the back 3. It doesn't make a difference. You could bring Frabotte in for Alexandro. Not against Barcelona, but against a Serie A team. The problem is if you keep doing 4 or 5 at once, then it becomes a problem. If you change 1 or 2 at a time, yeah, absolutely. We've got a really good squad who can do that job. But the whole squad has to take that performance against Barcelona as the blueprint going forward. This is what this team is capable of achieving if everyone does what they're supposed to do. And whoever comes in, do those jobs. It's really simple, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it sounds like it's simple, but I think that yesterday we finally got to see that brilliance, right? I mean, I kind of laughed because like simple things like seeing Ronaldo like in our box defending Messi at one point, I kind of like giggled because I was like, brilliant. You know, like those are things that you don't usually see, but you really appreciate that.
It made me laugh. Do you remember last year when Ribéry did that to Ronaldo? It was the same thing in reverse. It's great.
So there were a lot of moments in this game but I think, I don't know, it's the first time in a long time that I haven't just wrapped up watching a match and just being really annoyed with one particular player or more. I was like, wow, guys, this really happened. It was less of a, I'm mad that you performed so poorly, and more of a like, oh, like you didn't really do anything for the players that kind of didn't do anything. You know, there were certainly integral folks like Cuadrado was really important this match. Ramsey was really important this match. McKennie, obviously, Ronaldo, Morata, De Ligt. Like there was so much happening. And quite frankly, I think that if we had a couple extra more minutes, we probably would have had another goal, and it probably would have been like Morata's or Ramsey's. I was counting on it, honestly. This is my favorite thing to come on the internet yesterday.
Same for me. Amazing one. The guy is on fire. The guy is on fire. He is. You know what I love the most with McKennie? And before I answer, I choose someone that subscribed to the channel. So I saw that he was subscribed. It's Famaxi9073. He want to join us. I didn't receive yet a message on Telegram so that I can send him the link. Maybe here. So yeah, okay, I will take care of that. I will send you the link so that you can join and you can help us with the rating. So wait a few seconds. But what I love the most, and then guys, you can go through while I invite our friend Massimiliano, that's his name, is seeing him happy. He is happy to play. He wants to play. He has maybe that grinta that was really missing in the team, and not one player is not enough. But I see, a kid before the big Christmas tree in New York, admiring all the lights, and he's just enjoying. He has such a positive vibe. You can only love him for what he's doing off the pitch, because that's also an important one. But then he's proving it on the pitch. I'm totally convinced and in love. You guys?
Well, McKennie is a midfielder where we're really missing as a characteristic. He's with pace, with strength, able to press, do good pressing, help his teammates, which is a very important thing. It's and don't get me wrong with this comparison, but it's kind of the beginning Matuidi was here for us. A player that maybe, of course, Matuidi technically is not as good probably as McKennie, but was a runner.
That's very kind to Matuidi. Very kind. Maybe technically not as good.
It's a former.
That's
Juventus
like saying
player,
maybe Giuseppe has a little bit less hair than me.
But the meaning is you need such a player that can, of course, help the midfield, because McKennie exactly does this. It's not only that, he's a very good bridge between midfield and attack, and he does a great job. It is nobody in our midfield that actually does the same. So it's something unique we have, and now we really appreciate once he's find, his feet, is improving the chemistry with the team. So we are getting just the best out of it. I don't know if the audio now is better. I changed so I hope.
Hi there, guys. Good evening.
Hey.
Hi.
I want to say hello. Ciao. How can we call you?
Call me Max.
Max. Welcome, Max. I'm super happy because it's the first time that we invite someone from the chat. Actually, you subscribed also for the Italian version of you A Casa Juventibus and so on. And now you are here speaking English. I hope you speak English, right, Max?
Yes, I live in Liverpool anyway.
Look at that.
I have a question immediately for Max. Did you buy Zampini book?
I go up to Paolo. I can't name Paolo properly.
Did you buy that book? Did you buy that book?
No, I'm waiting to go to my town to get it from Pepe.
Okay.
Another guy that is on Juventus, Pepe
Yes.
Baltieri.
Yeah.
He's got the library in my town in Italy anyway. I'm gonna get him from him.
Look at that. We are a big family at Juventus. Max, immediately shooting. Give me a vote. A vote for McKennie, because we are talking about McKennie. A rating.
The cowboy, like I said to Christine the other day.
Yes, my favorite cowboy ball.
I can say 8.
8.
Yeah.
Maybe 8.5. Because I
8.5.
want to go slow with him, but I give him a 8 for this time.
If you would have gone lower than 8, I would have rioted on the spot. I would take an 8.5 reasonably and comfortably.
Yeah, I know that's why I give 8, because I was worried about you see.
Smart man. Smart man.
Never mess about with a woman.
People, let us know. You see, Beppe from the Juventus is making a lot of money with the book of Zampini. That is really the funny story of it. I love it because they are all buying from Beppe. Guys, let us know what you are rating the players that we will discuss about. So Max said 8, and I think we all agree, except of Outlast Juve, who's giving 7.5, and Ninib, who's saying 7.5 as well.
That's insane.
That's harsh.
insane.
I agree with 7.5.
No
go for it.
Wait, time out, Paolo. So if you're going to say 7.5 for Weston, okay, who, pray tell, would you rate higher? If so, why? And also, how long have you had this mental illness?
Excuse me?
Exactly. Like, I don't. No. Okay. So let's assume, because it's accurate, that Weston is probably the man of this match.
Whoa. 6.5.
Okay, now you're just messing with me, and I don't appreciate it.
Christine, just hang up. Just refuse to do the show ever again.
Let's go back to this.
No, sincerely, would you argue?
Let me explain. 8 for me is pretty high, and rating 7.5 as a top rate for all the team, because I still believe the second half we could do way better than what we did, especially after the third goal. We were a little bit lazy sometimes, and we risked too much. I was expecting to keep the same quality we were doing in the first half of the major part of the game. This is why there is this this 0.5 point less, but 7.5 is my top. I'm going to give it 7.5 to McKennie, to Cuadrado, a 7 to CR7, because I think Cristiano is not in a great shape right now. There is something I don't smell right now about him. It maybe is a little bit tired. I don't know if you felt the same. Especially you see the game against Torino, didn't perform quite well. But just to say, I gave him the top rate, which is 7.5. So I give him the best possible.
Okay,
so to get
real
8,
quick,
9, I need something better in more important games, and we're talking about against maybe the final against Real Madrid, for example, where we will win 4-1, and then that's what when we gave 10.
If I may interrupt,
absolutely, he's getting coal for Christmas. I'm just letting everybody know that right now.
Guys, I will defend you, Christine, and not Christine, but I will defend McKennie, because for me, and I said it previously, he was the brain of the game. He was the one that started the pressing, that stopped the pressing, that was able to know when to go behind the strikers, when not. He scored an amazing goal, guys.
Like that give and go happened in slow motion. It was so beautiful. It is
only a few people on earth can do it. I did it once, but not a lot of people can do it. It's an amazing goal, but it's not only the goal, but the how smart he was to play. It was for me amazing. Buffon, Max, how do you rate Buffon? A score for Buffon, Max, and explain why.
I can say 7.5.
So
7.5 because he's still a great goalkeeper. He's got his age, and I think that he did the best he could for his age, because it's not easy to go down, especially when he saved that, that ball from Messi, that he went down. I don't know how quick he went down at that age, 43. It's not very, very easy. But I still think that Szczesny need to stay in the goal. With all respect for Buffon, because otherwise you're gonna get trouble with Szczesny. If any other games, like I said before in the chat, you put Buffon in the goal, it will be a big problem. Because Szczesny, I don't think he will accept something like that anyway.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
We agree with the 7.5, guys?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, yeah. I think it was great.
I still can't have this 7.5 for Weston McKennie though. I'm gonna have to say it has to be an 8. The kid is a year younger than Federico Chiesa. He went to Camp Nou and scored that goal against Barcelona and played brilliant the whole game.
In his 5th Champions League match in his life.
I'm not saying 9. I'm not saying 10. I'm saying 8. Like, if that's not an 8, what the fuck is an 8?
I love Adam today. I'm like, we're gonna get best friend bit.
And then I have to agree with Max too about Buffon. He was great, superb game, and yeah, when it's another big game, you have to play Szczesny. Absolutely, he's right.
Just to keep the people also aware of what's happening. Apparently, Conte had a big fight with Capello on Sky, and he left the interview. I'm not surprised.
But to be honest with you, I'm surprised that we are talking about him.
Yeah. I mean, let's go back to McKenna.
I'm not interested about the cat, the one with the cat on his head. I'm not interested.
You know, Max.
I don't know where I need a cat. I don't buy one.
Yeah, I need a cat.
Time out. 1 second. Do me a favor, Pepe. Pull up this Outlast Juve comment because people don't listen to me apparently.
Wait, this one?
I'm sorry. Rewind, go back, replay what I said about Ronaldo's contribution being more significant, drawing those 2 defenders away from McKennie to manage to let him score that goal. Okay.
And not just McKennie. The point in the comment is great too. If McKennie had missed, Ramsey was standing right there.
Right, he was right behind him. Granted, I have a feeling that Ramsey would have been offside, but everybody was where they were supposed to be. There was a lot that happened. And if you think about it, right, like, so Ronaldo also kind of broke his own little curse because he finally scored the Champions League match at Camp Nou against Barca in 450 plus minutes played career. But I think that makes it even more significant that McKennie is doing this 5th Champions League match in his life. First American to score at Camp Nou. Like, are you kidding? And he's 22. I was like going through like American players that had played in Champions League and who scored goals and won it if ever. It's bananas. Like, I don't think that, and I am absolutely gloating and tooting my own horn here because I was on here on the record saying before McKennie played his first Serie A match that he was going to be a threat, and everybody laughed at me. I said the same thing and defended Morata, and I was right. So we're going to go back to Christine is always right. No, but sincerely, I'm even impressed with McKennie in ways that I can't even begin to explain because I knew what he was capable of, but I think that he's exceeding my expectations so quickly. And I also kind of relied, I think, more on Pirlo sort of imparting knowledge on him. And I think that for whatever reason, I wasn't paying so much attention to the impact that Ronaldo would have on him. And I'm starting to pivot a little bit to think that Ronaldo might actually be his sort of secret sauce that ends up being his tipping point in letting him become who he eventually becomes.
Yeah, I think that's a really big thing for Juve. Is you see this quite a bit with Ronaldo. It's the same thing you see in the NBA with LeBron James. Not everyone can play with a player who's that great. You know, some players go there and they can't cope with the pressure. They can't cope. Bernardeschi, that's happened to. Absolutely. Bernardeschi can go somewhere else and be a really good player, but he can't cope with the pressure of playing with Ronaldo because you get that one pass and you have to deliver. And when you don't, you get that stare from Ronaldo and some people just melt. And McKennie, it's like Christine just said, it's lifting him up. And it's doing that with a lot of other. It's doing that with Cuadrado, clearly. It's done that with Morata again. It's done that with Rabiot, who looks like a completely different player to last year. And that's a really underutilized, under-discussed part of Ronaldo's greatness. It's just the way that he lifts other people up. In a way, as we saw yesterday, Messi just doesn't do. He just doesn't do it. You look at Argentina, Barca the same. He just doesn't lift players in that way, and Ronaldo really does. And it's mostly the same way that Zlatan is doing at Milan. It's just by being him. He's not putting his arm around McKennie and having a little chat and saying, oh, come on, try this. He's saying, I'm Ronaldo, be as good as me. And McKennie's okay.
there's always going to be a player that wants to rise to the challenge that isn't going to shy away from that, right? And the velocity in which you see McKennie just like turning over, right? He's not afraid of him. I think there was an interview that I caught where he, at first it was like, you're kind of like, like Ronaldo, and then eventually it just becomes your teammate. But like the pace in which that has become this, to me is so promising. And also timeout, but like, let's think about this again. The audacity of this kid.
No, he is.
That shot, are you kidding me? Like, never in my wildest dreams would I be like, oh yeah, I'm going to try that. But again, I'm a different breed. Like, this kid is going to go. And
I said it, Christine. For me, he has the intelligent, for me, it's a really intelligent, mature kid. You see it, how he speaks. He's using his image. It's not for me just like that when he was about to score with USA, that he's using the gesture. He's really smart because he's positively manipulating and showing, I love my team. He really knows how to. And again, that's fine, but then you have to prove it on the pitch. And he's combining both. He's not complaining. He has a smile. He's on the promos immediately. He already speaks English. I love that as well. That's important. So
I don't remember who it was the last time. It might have been Adam. It might have been David. But we talked about how McKennie is such a teachable player. And I think that is going to be something that makes such a difference for him because it's shown already, right? Yeah. Like, again, he's only 5 Champions League matches in, his first season in Serie A with Juve, his first time really getting to play and being that sort of impactful player versus the generalist that Schalke used him as. I don't know. I'm excited about it. The way that we played yesterday as a whole, though, I don't know. It makes me want to do a happy dance or so.
Christine, you were not joking when you said that you would speak for 45 minutes. So.
I'm happy to, but I think that there's probably other people to talk about. Like, Paolo, let's talk about for a second. Paolo pointed to the second half, right? And he said he wanted to deduct some points from McKennie for the second half, right? Was that accurate in my understanding, Paolo?
But for all the team, it's my top rating. I just get this.
I'm just saying it should be higher. So
I know, but it's just my point.
No, but Paolo,
the difference in the second half.
But the thing is, I didn't mean to say McKennie didn't play well, didn't do great, and I expected doing more and more and better. Okay. It's just about I'm watching all the game.
No, Paolo, don't you think that winning 3-0?
Wait a minute. There were 2 changes in the second half, right? So you had Betancourt on and Rabiot.
Yep.
You don't think that would have changed it? I can't even speak English anymore. Changed, switches into other languages are doing this. Changed the dynamic on field and what McKennie was able to do in the second half that you're not going to.
Yeah, but those changes were made because the team was not performing anymore in the right way.
I don't agree, guys. I don't agree. You know why?
Let me answer. Otherwise, Christine is going to kill me anyway.
And then I let you finish, Paolo. If you are winning 3-0 and you concede even one more goal, you're still first. So why are you taking crazy risk? If you change 2 players that are a bit more creative with the ball, Arthur and Ramsey, and you put 2 more physical like Rabiot and Betancourt, it makes totally sense. It's not because the team was not playing well anymore. It's because at that moment, you're fine.
No, guys, I disagree with that, but the simple point that we were not able anymore to go out to the pressing and get possess of the ball and play we don't need to go forward. We have to keep the ball at a certain point when you're 3-0. This is what I'm saying. And then we have 20-25 minutes that we could do 2 passes and Barca was able to get the ball and again go offensive, and we have to stay in defense. This kind of approach, I mean, my feeling at least was we lost the ball sometimes too easily, a little bit of laziness, a little bit maybe we were too confident, I don't know. But the changes I believe Pirlo made is because of that too, to get fresh legs, to get motivation, to keep up with the rhythm and the pace again. And in fact, once we have the new players, Rabiot and Betancourt, again, we were able to manage better the ball. and we were able to, not suffer. We were not really suffering, but there was some players that were a little bit too, naive with the ball, trying to
we,
do dribbling when you were not supposed to do so. You have to play smarter. This is what I'm saying. And this is what I didn't like in the second round in specific after the 3-0.
Paolo, you said some specific players. We will come because I want to know the names. But
Mhm.
Max, first you have to give me 3 ratings for. We go faster. De Ligt, Danilo, Alexandro, the 3 defenders. And no, give me Bonucci as well, so that we have the 4.
7 for the four of them. 7.
All equal.
Yes, because they played all equally, more or less. I think.
For me, there was
Maybe I can say maybe Alexandro 7.5 because he was going like a tractor on that side, on his side. You see, going open. But the other one 7 because I don't think that it was much to be done yesterday. Anyway, they didn't have much work because Barca hasn't got no strikers really. Then you see the defender like De Ligt that is on the man. He didn't have his man. Bonucci, he did these good passes, great passes. Because
Bonucci played super great yesterday. I was
yes,
really convinced about Bonucci.
but that was
Danilo a bit less.
the reason was because the Barca midfielders didn't press much on Arthur, especially. They
Yeah.
didn't leave him alone. He was on his own in the middle of the pitch. Then he didn't have any pressing. Then for Bonucci, it was nice and easy to pass him the ball. He's got the feet to do so anyway. Then we know it. And Danilo did this part as well on the other side. Then probably the extra 0.5 I can give that to Alexandro because he was going like a horse on that side, on his side. He was running and running all the game long. And he never went. He had the two of the was Alba, I think, on his side, and the other one, he was always in between the two of them, and they never went through him for some reason. He stopped them and stopped them and stopped them every time they went trying to pass him. Then you see, that's why probably the 0.5 extra is for him.
Are we agreeing with the analysis of Max? I think it was a
More or
really
less, I'd say yes. I think that, maybe half here and there, but for the most part, our defense was solid. De Ligt made some mistakes too. I don't know. Danilo almost had a goal early on that just went a little wide with 5 guys in the box, which I was like, oh my God, that's on fire. And Sandro, he had a good game. He almost had an assist for Morata. But I think that everybody was working. Most of the shots taken were outside the 18-yard box, right? So whatever we were doing was good. I don't disagree. I'm fine with that.
I think Danilo deserves a lot of praise for the way that he's played this season. He's played sometimes on the right, sometimes on the left, chopping and changing for whichever central defenders are available, sometimes playing as a fullback. I think he's been really, really good, and he's a player who was criticised a lot last year, and I think he's shown this season he's really good. I think we saw, Christine's right, De Ligt made a few mistakes yesterday, but I think at some points as well, you just see just how good that kid is, man, and it's obviously he wasn't like McKennie good yesterday, but you can just see it with him. He's just got everything, hasn't he? It's like I was joking about this yesterday, but if you got Barzagli, Bonucci and Chiellini and took the best bits of all of them and mashed them all together, but then made them fast as well, then that's what you've got in De Ligt. He's got the positional awareness of Barzagli. He's got the grinta and the leadership of Chiellini. He's good on the ball because he's Dutch, and he weighs in with some big goals in attack too. He's got everything you could want. I think yesterday wasn't his best game, but you can still, even in that, you can still see his quality, and that leads me on to something I wanted to just circle back to when we were talking about McKennie earlier with De Ligt and McKennie.
Don't say McKennie.
No. All I'm going to say is when you're making excuses for Chiesa, oh, he's young, he's inexperienced, blah blah blah. De Ligt and McKennie are both younger than him. They're both younger than him, and you don't need to make that excuse.
It's true.
Chiesa's got a lot more Serie A experience than McKennie. He's been around in Serie A. He speaks the language. He knows what to expect at Juve. He's played with Ribery, where now he plays with Ronaldo. McKennie's had none of that. He's in a foreign country for another foreign country, his second one. De Ligt come to a foreign country, and you're not making an excuse. Oh, they're young, they're inexperienced, they don't know what they're doing. But you make that with Chiesa, and it's a joke. Those two guys, they're just special.
That's the best explanation. Wait, that's the best explanation and concise for De Ligt I've ever heard. I'm like, put that down. That's poetry. I want that to hang on my wall. That's exactly him. And also, when he errors, you don't ever lose trust in him. And I think that's something that's different, right? Like, there's some players that they mess up, and for whatever reason, whether it's large or small, you just never really feel the same about them again. De Ligt isn't that guy.
No, it's like with Batsali. If Batsali ever made a mistake, you're like, it's okay, it's Batsali, and you'll do the same with De Ligt. It's like, yeah, he'll be all right. You don't have any worries.
The guy
whatsoever.
is a born captain. He's a born captain.
Oh, absolutely.
He was already at Ajax when he's alone, singing and motivating the stands. It's amazing. The guy, Raiola, and I want to ask Max his opinion on it. Raiola, he said two things. He will be the future captain of Juventus, and the second thing he said, he's a future Ballon d'Or. Max, Raiola, crazy or correct?
Crazy is correct in one way for the Ballon d'Or. I got some doubt about that he will become the Juventus captain, because usually he doesn't keep a player in a team for too long. He keep a player in one team for 2-3 years at the most. He's always done that anyway. Then you see, I don't really trust his words. Yeah, he's a man that you don't trust.
I totally agree with what you said about Raiola. I totally agree with what you say about him not becoming captain of Juve, because maybe he's not going to be there for too long. I can't agree with you about Ballon d'Or because he's a defender. And these days, if you're not Ronaldo or Messi, you're not winning it, are you? And then after him, you're going to have Mbappe, you're going to have Neymar, you're going to have Haaland, all of these guys. And for a central defender to win it, he would have to score in Champions League final and World Cup final and win them both in the same year. It's too impossible, isn't it? It's not like when we were kids with Ballon d'Or where just the best player wins. Now it's like a media award, a popularity contest, isn't it?
It will be my Ballon d'Or anyway. For me, it will be my Ballon d'Or. Then if they give it to him, good. If they don't, they don't. For me, it will be. Because I think that he will deserve it already now for his age, for the way he plays. Because he's one of those defenders that he doesn't wait for the strikers to attack him. He attacks the strikers. He goes towards them. He doesn't wait for them to go towards him.
Yeah, he does. Here's a question. Giuseppe, here's a question. Who's a better defender than De Ligt in the world right now? Today, right now, who's better than him?
Here. No, joking. No, for me, I see a lot of time, and in all seriousness, a lot of time we say, especially last year, he's the future best defender. He's the future of Juventus. The future for me already last year was not the future. It was the present of Juventus, because people tend to forget his first 3, 4, 5 games who were not really great. But can you imagine that the guy, he comes in a new country, came from Eredivisie. Listen how I pronounce it. I love it. Eredivisie. So he comes from there.
All right.
It's beautiful, right? He comes from the Netherlands. He goes to Serie A, where it's totally different. 24 hours before playing versus Napoli, that the year before was second. In the second game, Chiellini is injured, and he just know that he has to play in another language, in another thing. And the guy, he received so many criticism. When you are 20 years old, to receive all that shitload on you, you have to be strong. And when I saw him...
But you know what that's like? He's young, he's come from a foreign country, he's not played very much. Then he goes to Camp Nou, he scores a goal, and Paolo gives him a 7.
Well... I know.
For me, there are no better. At the moment, De Ligt is here. He's on top.
Guys, there's no Van Dijk is injured. Sergio Ramos is not a good defender. Who is a better defender than him? Koulibaly's not playing very well. To me, De Ligt is the best defender in the world. Today, obviously it's Rugani. Yeah. That's why he's not playing in Liga.
Yeah, I mean, if you could go, yeah, honestly, I think that Virgil van Dijk would probably be the only one that could rival him, and he's got his whole ACL thing happening. So,
and then who knows what he comes back like, right? When he
right.
comes back from that.
Unfortunately, there's no way to know.
There are
Don't tell me
people who are
about
saying
it.
they are already De Ligt sexual. That's beautiful from Guido.
Don't tell me about Van Dijk because I have to listen about him all the time. The confrontation with the De Ligt because I live in the city where he plays on.
I have insufferable Liverpool supporter friends too. So. Yeah.
Hey, I live in Liverpool. I got no choice.
But
Max.
anyways, Raiola said the same about Paul Pogba, and we saw what happened. So let's wait.
Yeah.
Second thing, also Zalaeta scoring Camp Nou. So let's wait.
Did you give him a 7 too?
Yeah, let's wait. Keep calm and see. The future is brighter, but I want to see better. I mean, everybody, not just McKennie. McKennie's doing great, but I believe he can do more. There are still 2.5 points to reach the 10. So there is still a long way to go.
The 10 for me, the only 10 I gave was to Ronaldo versus Atletico Madrid. I believe in my life. After that, I never gave a 10.
Let's say 9.9 then.
9.9. I want to go quick because I want to go quick through the ratings because we didn't even speak about Ronaldo. So I want to go through Ronaldo and then a few roundtable about Pogba. Okay, but first, Max, give them all of them. And we agree or not, we don't care. We will stop only at Ronaldo. But Ramsey, Arthur, not McKennie, please. Don't start McKennie again. We already said. So
No.
Ramsey,
I won't take
Arthur,
that risk.
Cuadrado.
Oh, Cuadrado say 7.5. Because he's, for that ball that he crossed in the middle there, that was a fantastic ball. Plus, he do the job up and down. That is not easy either anyway. Then,
Cuadrado was feeding everybody. He fed Ronaldo when he got fouled too. Like he was integral in everything that happened, the same way that Ramsey was, I would argue. So
I think so. I think
that's fair. I just think that he needs to be. He needs a little more hype. That's all.
Then I say Ramsey. I can say 7 because he did a good job.
Yeah.
When he was on, I said the only worry with him that every time he stretches a little bit, I think that he's gonna break, like a piece of crystal. I know because of that. I was watching a lot of the games here anyway in England with the Premier. Then I know what he's like. And when we got him, I said, "Oh my God!" Said we got someone that he's gonna take my wheelchair from me. You see.
I call him Snowflake because I told it the last time. It's so beautiful. He comes from the sky. You admire him. When you catch him, then it's gone. It disappears because he's injured. But
no, I thought that I said I had to land him on my wheelchair all the time continuously. I wouldn't be left without, you see, because I'm a wheelchair user, and because he's always broken. Yeah, and I thought that I got to land him on my wheelchair. Said I will do that for Juventus. You know what I mean? I said I will use something different.
Max, Arthur, yesterday, who was the most sad? Pjanic to join Barcelona or Arthur at Juve?
Okay, say that Pjanic, I would have sold him 2 years ago. By the way, I would have sold him already 2 years ago anyway because he didn't play the way he should in the past 2 years. He was at Juventus anyway. That's for me. Yeah, that's my own opinion. And Arthur, yesterday, for some reason, he stopped going around and around with the ball. It was like a yo-yo. He was going like that. That's what he's doing continuously. I don't like that type of. I like him to play fast the ball towards the wings or towards the striker. I don't like him going around and around and around the ball. Then I can say I can give him 7.5 because yesterday he really impressed me.
Adam, Arthur, we have a really nice question from Hanina6. We're saying, is Arthur the player we needed?
I think the problem with Arthur is I think he's a player who can really help when Juve play the really the lower teams in Serie A, you know, the difficult teams who pack it in, who sit back and deep, and you need somebody who can pick a pass and open them up. I think in the bigger games like yesterday, if you go with Rabiot, McKennie and Ramsey with that extra bit of grit, you can press a little bit more and you can win the ball back higher up the pitch and then give it to Cuadrado, Sandro, Ronaldo, whoever. I don't think you need him in those games, but I think he'll really help. A bit like Liverpool picking up Thiago from Bayern. Liverpool had that. I've talked about this the last time I was on, but Liverpool, just like Atalanta, they have a midfield of just nobodies really, don't they? Who just get stuck in, and I think Arthur can help with those games when it's against a really packed in team who don't want to come out. Like a Cagliari, those kind of teams. Yeah. And obviously he's better than that. He can help in Champions League and stuff, but I think his qualities will look a lot better against those teams when it's all packed in. And so far, he's sat out those games and he's played in the big games. I think when he comes up against some of those smaller teams, I think we'll really see his quality shine through.
Mm. And we finish with the two strikers, Ronaldo and Mandzukic.
Mandzukic, I don't know where he is. Probably he's with the Camels right now. I don't know.
You know what? You know why I'm saying Mandzukic? Because yesterday I saw some glimpses of Mandzukic in Morata. I was not the biggest fan of Mandzukic. He had some qualities, but there was some things of Mandzukic that I could find that fighting spirit, coming back to the field, also playing with his shoulders, helping and supporting. I really appreciated Morata yesterday, not only because he scored or not, but the way he played and his way of wanting to fight. I really love that, and I didn't know that about Morata, the first edition of Morata 1.0. So that's why I was asking you with a joke, Mandzukic and Ronaldo, Max.
Okay, Morata, nobody was expecting that he was playing the way he does right now. I said I did put my trust on him because I said if he comes to Juventus, he wants to come because that's the way he was. And also, he cut his wages. You can expect anything from a player like him. But I didn't know that he was gone this good, especially on protecting the ball. Like Dzeko, for example, they wanted to get Dzeko for that reason. Morata, I think that he's as good as Dzeko at the moment because he does the same job. Actually, he does it very well, and he scored a lot of goals, by the way, too. Then for Morata yesterday, say another 7.5. And Ronaldo, say, I didn't really fancy the way he played yesterday, apart from the 2 penalties. But I give him a good 7 for one simple reason. When he went to get the ball from Messi in our penalty area and went around him, I said, come on, my friend, give us the ball. That's got nothing to do with you. I'm the GOAT. I'm the boss. Give me the ball. And that was the best thing he did in the game, I think, because he did help defending too. And that's why I give him a 7. Because as a forward, I don't think that he did too much yesterday, really. He did more, or nearly more on our half side than the opposite.
Paolo?
Adam? Go on, Paolo. I would flip those two around. I'll give Morata a 7. He did the hard work. He put a good shift in. Ronaldo scored 2 goals and tackled Messi. That's 7.5 for me. But, he won one of the penalties, scored them both. Yeah. Went back and tackled Messi, give him an extra 0.5, 7.5.
Now, I only did the 7.5 to Morata for one simple reason. Because I got to put that on the face of the fans that they won him in the first place.
Oh, in that case, 7.5 to both. Face. Absolutely.
Because I did agree when they got him. I didn't want Dzeko, I didn't want Suarez. Because they're too old. I don't think that they get on with the type of team that we got. I think that Morata will be better because he knows the place as well. He knows the players. He knows where he's going to play. And he knows that he's loved by a lot of fans. And then when he sees that's all things that he never had when he went to Madrid or when he went to Chelsea. That's why Morata was the way he was when he went to play somewhere else. He came back home. I hope that happened the same thing for someone else soon.
Guys, in the chat, they don't listen anymore. They don't care about Ronaldo, the GOAT. They just want one thing, to close the show as soon as possible, because Christine will at least say one Italian word. Maybe more. We will discover it in a few minutes. Before ending, guys, I want to finish with really soon an opinion. Yes, no, and maybe a few words of motivation. Paul Pogba. Raiola said he's not happy, but we knew he's not happy. He wants to leave in January. Don't speak about salary. Don't speak about the value. Whatever. We don't care about that. Pogba, possibility to have him. Yes, no.
Okay. It will be another player completely different to what we have already in the squad, in my opinion. Because and this is what something I want to try to say about even midfield and attack. We have players. They are not double. They are completely different. Morata is irreplaceable. Nobody can do his job. Cherry said the same. If you think about midfielder, Arthur is special like Rabiot. Nobody's like Rabiot. Nobody's like McKennie. Nobody's like Betancourt. They are all different, even if they play in the same room and the same place. And this is because we need players that maybe according to the team we are facing, we need different characteristics to get the best of it, I believe. Now, the big question for me is Pogba, yes, but in place of who? I will say in place of Ramsey, I will sign tomorrow. Yesterday, probably, not tomorrow. Because it will be great. He have, again, pace, strength. He's able to help in the midfield. He's able to do great job in front. It will be finally a midfielder able to score, which we are not that great. I mean, McKennie did one. Ramsey didn't score yet this season, I guess. But this is a big problem too. We face in the last 2-3 seasons. We need midfielders that are able to score. So Pogba, yes, for this reason, as in place of Ramsey, so that position. So kind of bridge again between midfield and strikers, and the attack
Paolo.
be offensive.
Pogba in, Demiral out. If that's the deal, yes or no?
Again, yes, but we need someone to replace Demiral then, because otherwise we are sure and back. Because again, I believe will be anyway a good upgrade for us. Of course, Demiral, we love Demiral and blah blah blah, but Pogba will be a great upgrade for us. A strong step in for our team.
Adam, they are asking you, Pogba for Dybala swap.
Yeah, why not? Dybala doesn't help. Maybe Pogba helps. Like for me with Pogba, if he comes back, if he's motivated, if he wants to play for Juve, absolutely, because he would be the team's best midfielder. He just would. Like, he's a great player, and you can talk. Maybe not for Khedira. That might be too far. Whoa. Joke. Look, you look at these players who you're talking about, who want to go, who you want to swap for him. Dybala, would you swap him? Yes, because if that yesterday is Juve's best 11, like Paolo said, you can put Pogba in instead of Ramsey, makes the team better. So if you lose Dybala, then you're not hurting the team. If you lose Demiral, he's the fourth choice central defender. Yes, Demiral's fantastic. Yes, I think he's a really good player. Yes, he could help Juve in the future. Pogba could help now, and you're talking about your fourth choice centre back. Like, it's a no-brainer to me.
You know what scares me, Adam? It's the injury.
Yeah,
he had a hard one, huh?
Yeah,
I'm
obviously
scared.
then that comes into the cost and who he is and whatever else. But if you're just talking about Pogba at his best, you take him all day long, because a guy like him or Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio, they're the kind of players, like Paolo said, who can help in midfield and in attack and really make the difference. But yeah, and for these guys, it just makes no sense to say, no, don't give up Dybala. Well, Dybala's not in Juve's first choice 11 anymore, so why would you not give him up to get a player of Pogba's quality who can help immediately? That's exactly what you should do. That just makes sense, to me at least.
Max.
Okay. I don't want to be a big boy now, but 3 months ago, I did write on Juventus on different forums, said you wait and see that there will be the swap, Dybala, Pogba. I said that 3 months ago.
Makes
For
sense.
some reason, I don't know, I had this idea in mind when it was during the market, during
For
the
me,
football market.
Dybala will not go. It's
I did
cold
agree
in
with that.
It's
Manchester.
cold.
I did agree with that because I do agree with that, the swap. Because Dybala is out of place in this Juventus team. He's out of place completely. They don't know where to put him to. We don't know where he's playing. Because
He doesn't
Pirlo
know
tell
where
him to
he's
play
playing,
as a
that's for sure.
striker, and he goes in the midfield or in the defense. He doesn't listen.
I like this guy. Get him on again. He knows what he's talking about.
I love Max.
He got something playing in his mind. £40 million, 40 million euros that he has to give to his old agent. Still, he's very fragile. Hasn't got no personality at all. Every problem he's got in his private life, he bring it on the pitch. And that's enough for Juventus. I'm sorry. I don't like players like that. He can have all the class. He can be the world-class player, but he hasn't
he's
got
not.
this.
He's not a world-class
Juventus
player, is he?
With this one here, you need this. You need the head. You need to be big up here. Because when you play with Juventus, you got to play to win, not to mess about. Your problems are home. And Pogba, I think that he will be the best player to come for Juventus because he's a box-to-box. And we need a player like that. We do need urgently a player like that. And with McKennie, I think, and Rabiot, they will make that trio in the midfield. That one is you going to get through it. Nobody. Because it'll be like a wall, like we had a wall in the defense. We will have a wall in the midfield the next time we Pogba comes.
Max, thank you. Thank you. I will already, because we are in closing time, I really want to thank you.
Thanks to you.
Adam anticipated me because I wanted to contact you privately, but you were an amazing guest.
Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure being with you.
We will have more guests, but we keep in contact, Max, because I want you on one of the next time from the beginning to the end. I really appreciate it, Max, if you accept, for sure.
I appreciate you guys. Honestly, I always wanted to participate on something like that anyway. I did speak with Luca as well, with Luca Momblano.
Yeah.
Because I did send him the mail. I will be on one of them too soon as well anyway, I've been told. But he said, I want you to be on the English one. Because you speak English anyway, will be easy as well. Because sometimes, you see, with Italian, I keep forgetting the words. While with English, it will be a lot easier because it's 30 years that I live in the UK anyway. Then you see, then it's all one day. Then it's been a big pleasure for me to meet you all, guys. I've been watching you every time you're on anyway. Then, I love it.
Thank
and
you.
remember to buy the book. Buy the book.
Yeah, when I go to my town, I will buy it. My friend is going to keep it on the side for me anyway.
Yeah, but when do you go to your town, Max? Because I go to my town, maybe it's in 5 years. You need the book now, the book of Matthew. Otherwise, you have to write a new book, 4,000 years of Juve champion. When do you buy?
I will send my mom over. I got my mom over there. She can go and pick it up for me anyway.
You see, you sound like Dybala now. I'm going to send my mum.
I'm in a lockdown here. Where am I going to go to? I want to go for Christmas. They don't let me.
Max, it was amazing having you on. Really, really, really thank you.
Thank you very much.
Christine, I want your opinion about Pogba. No, I want your opinion about Pogba first because that's important.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have a soft spot for Dybala. Always have. I love Pogba. I also understand that if anybody had to go to accommodate Pogba's arrival, it would absolutely have to be Dybala. It is what it is at this point. Do I think that United would take him? Probably not. Honestly, they have more managerial issues over there than anything else. They have a lot of good players that Ole has picked up, but they're just riddled with issues. I don't know where I would even see him fitting in over there. He's definitely not like a one-to-one exchange for Pogba. But yeah, like if anybody had to be dumped to be able to sort of foot that bill, it would have to be Dybala. So you would see me walk around pouting for a few days and then I'd get over it.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine. I think we will do something in January, but it will be some swap. I thank all the people in the chat. It was an amazing live. I had the time of my life today. I believe in the last 2 days I think 15 hours of live on my channel. I was a bit exhausted, but this you guys gave me so much energy. Paolo, Adam, Max, Christine, you gave me a lot of energy, but especially the chat that was on fire today. If you want to be there the next time, let me know. Come follow us. We need your support, guys. And now, if everything goes okay, if Christine wants to, she can say ciao in Italian, and then we close the chat.
No,
Che
no, more
cosa
than
vuoi
ciao.
da me?
No, you have to say more than that. Come on.
Che cosa vuoi da me?
Look
Ho
at
paura che l'ho dimenticato tutto quello che ho imparato all'università.
guys, she said it. She said it, and I understood every single word. And she has a more beautiful.
Ciao ragazzi.
Thank you to everyone. Ciao to Maurix. Ciao to Simuzi. Juventibus Love. That was a bit late today. Be on time next time. To Cami Palermo, Giacomo, UFC 8097, Filippo, Maurix. To everyone, thank you. We see you next week. Ciao. Grazie. Forza Juve.
Good night, guys.